Yo, what's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're talking about what everyone wants to master in FC26. How to score like a pro player. From timing your runs to finishing in tight spaces, I will be covering everything that you guys need to know about finishing in FC26. Let's jump right in to today's video. So first of all, before we jump into the gameplay, we will be going into settings, because I personally, on shooting settings, will be using Precision Shot Assistant. And precision shooting is basically, in an easy way to explain it, is where you aim with your left stick, that's where you will shoot. I'm not playing assisted, I'm not playing manual, I'm playing precision. And why do I play precision? Because it's mandatory to play in FC competitions. In all FC Pro competitions, leagues, big games, World Cups, every pro player is playing with precision shooting. And that's why I also do it. And I would advise you guys, if you guys want to get better at the game and if you would like to score from angles that you don't really feel like is possible, precision will definitely help you. But also, it could be worse for you, because if you have an open net and you just aim the left stick not towards the goal, basically, you will miss because of the precision shooting. So it's up to you guys, but as I said, if you want to become better, my advice is to put on precision shooting and try to learn it. And my second tip will obviously be to try to look towards your strikers or wingers what finishing playstyles they have, because that will definitely make it way easier for you to score. So the thing that I'm trying to look for when I'm trying to find attacking players, obviously I have a very good team, don't get me wrong, but you still have cheaper options that could fit right into your squad and manage to have the same playstyles. Kylian Mbappé then is going to play as a left mid for me in a 4-5-1. Kylian Mbappé, finesse shot in white and also low driven in white. These are the two most important finishing playstyles in this game. I would advise, off the patch, I think finesse shots are stronger. I think they are way more accurate. I think the keepers are less likely to save them. And in general, I feel like they are less likely to actually get blocked by the defenders. So make sure that you either have finesse or low driven on your players, or even better, you could have both. As I said then, Mbappé, low driven and finesse. Claudio Pina, finesse and low driven in gold. And I mean, if you have a gold playstyle in finesse or low driven, I would just advise to shoot shots with these players that they manage to have in gold. So for example, with Pina, I'm most likely shoot low drivens, but I'm also a kind of a finesse merchant. I kind of finesse all my shots. So preferably, I would like to have someone that manages to have finesse, but if Claudio Pina has low driven in gold, obviously I would use that shot type as well. Zico will be my offensive CM, and obviously he has finesse shot in gold, which I absolutely love. Fantastic center midfielder. And yeah, basically scoring every shot with him that I managed to finesse, because they are very accurate, and also the keepers are a lot of times glitching. Right mid then, Nico will also have finesse shot, but also game changer. And game changer is a kind of underrated playstyle, because I'm playing Nico on the right hand side, because if I'm coming from the right hand side, I'm 1-on-1 with the keeper, I can still use the Trevela shots from last year. And Trevelas this year are still very decent, and yeah, they are a very good shooting type to use if you're coming from the right hand side and you want to shoot at the far corner and your right midfielder is right-footed. So the first situation will basically be us inside the box with Claudio Pina. And as I said, if you have a player that managed to have low driven in goal, use this to your advantage. But for the low driven, I would advise you guys to try to get used to, try to basically set up the low driven. And what do I mean by that? Basically in the background here, I'm doing some insane left stick dribbling here with Pina. And that still works off the patch, by the way. But once I'm getting into this kind of situation, around the penalty box or even like a bit more down, I always want to try to shoot far corner. Far corner shots are very good in this year's game, and you definitely need to use them to your advantage. So once I get into these kind of positions inside the box, I'm not trying to look to do any finesses whatsoever. If I am in the middle of the box, I'm usually trying to set up the low driven towards the far corner. Yes, I probably could have finessed this first post, but a low driven goal with Pina, or even Domornay, for example, the managers to have low driven in white, they score these chances if you just shoot them across keeper. So shooting across keeper will be the best way to score with a low driven shot. Just like this in the background, Claudio Pina, goated. And this is going to be more of kind of like a first time through ball type thing, but it's also when you're coming 1-on-1 with the keeper, just depends on what playstyles. Once again, I think playstyles are super important this year, as I said, for finishing. But the thing you try to look for when you're coming against 1v1 with the keeper is to try to once again set up for that angle. I wouldn't advise you guys to run straight towards the keeper, because the keeper then will have an easier chance to save it, especially if they have rush out in silver or gold, or even if they have 1v1 close down. That will definitely help the keeper to be able to save the shot. But I'm 1-on-1 here with Zico. Van Dijk is getting caught up to Zico, and I don't really feel like I mean, even if I shoot low driven here, far corner, I can score this. And this is a perfect example of how I'm trying to set up the low driven to be able to shoot far corner. But if I can't, if I don't really feel like I can't, or if I don't feel like my aim is good enough, the thing I'm doing here, I'm doing a barrel scoop to be able to like try to push Van Dijk off me. And then when I get into this kind of pocket of space, especially when Zico, who manages to have finesse shot gold, but also 5-star, 5-star, and 5-star weak foot especially. When I'm getting into these kind of situations with the players that manages to have either finesse shot in white or gold, I'm just going to finesse this far corner every single time. Usually, I put 2.5 to 3 bars of power inside the box. If we take a look at this once again, if you look at the bottom left of your screen, you will see how much power we put there with Zico. I put kind of like 2.5 to 3 bars of power when I am inside the box, and usually they fly into the back of the net if you once again try to shoot for the far corner with finesse shot or low driven. But that situation was definitely better to shoot finesse, as I was with his right foot towards the far corner, then I would definitely go for that shooting type. And this is going to be quite a similar situation. This won't be with Zico though, because I'm sending Zico in behind, but Kunde is not covering the run here of Pina. And once again here, when I am one-on-one with the keeper, I'm not just going to run towards Mamardashvili. I'm just going to try to kind of open up the space for the right foot to be able to finesse this far corner. As I said, I am a finesse merchant, I know. I could have probably shot this first post as well with low driven, but I feel like, personally, that when you're one-on-one with the keeper this year, I think finesse shots are the best ways to score. So once again, I'm trying to get that kind of angle to be able to fire it far post. Once again, if he's moving towards a far post, then obviously I have the first post open, then I just shoot it. He's not moving the keeper. I created a very, very good angle here with Claudia Pina, and yeah, once again, finesse shot into the back of the net, scores to make it 2-0. Claudia Pina, white finesse shot, manages to slot that home every single day. Once again, pretty similar situation, but also once again showing you guys how I'm actually just trying to set up for the finesse shot. Once again, insane first time through ball. I could have just taken the touch forward towards the goal here, but as you see, I'm taking a touch upwards here with Zico to be able to like create that extra angle. And once, as I said before, 5-star weak foot with Zico, adding on to that with finesse shot plus will obviously make this ball fly into the back of the net every single day. And as I said, a lot of times when you guys manage just to have finesse shot in gold or white, I don't know why, but the keepers are just going down to the ground like this. So once the keeper is coming out, just make sure to use finesse towards the far corner if they're not moving the keeper, and you will score, I would say, 9 times out of 10. With this shooting technique. And we're going to jump into the last shooting technique of this video, and this will basically be the ship shot, because the ship shot is really good if the opponent keep on bringing his keeper out in 1v1 situations. If you're not feeling comfortable with it, I totally understand, but if you want to shoot the ship shot, then I would advise you guys to go more towards the keeper. Even though it's better a lot of times to try to play for that angle, I would always advise you guys to go for that. But if you feel like you don't really have time to do so, I would advise then, if you feel like you're just going straight to the keeper, use the ship shot if they're bringing out the keeper. So again here, I send Zico around, first time through ball, you know how it is by now. Here again though, if I'm looking back at it, I should probably have created this kind of angle a bit more easily to be able to find the back of the net. Here again though, as I said, I'm running straight towards the keeper. I can probably finesse this as well, but as you see, when the keeper is coming out basically to the penalty spot, this is where I'm trying to ship him. And I basically do it with around 3 bars, 2.5 to 3 bars of power. Keeper is out in no man's land, and I managed to score to make it 2-1 in this game. Great chip shot, and I would advise you guys to always use 2.5 to 3 bars of power with the chip shots, depending on obviously where you are taking a shot, if it's inside the box or if it's outside the box when the keepers are coming out. This is going to be kind of a different situation, but this is why I always say to you guys, please check through the playstyles of your players first, especially the wingers. I think that's necessary to have them on finesses. This is basically why in the background. So I'm playing for a reset, like you guys know how I do it all the time with playing from the winger, trying to find CM, cam, CM, and then into the box. Tiki-taka obviously helps here with Dion. The good thing about this game is that you could actually shoot this first time if you would like, and I think I score here if I shoot this first time. But the thing that I'm doing, I'm taking a very good touch down into the space where the ball is coming from, and from here, when I have the finesse shot in playstyle, I can just shoot this first post. And this is where I think, if I don't have the finesse, I might not score here first post. If I want to do a low driven, I don't think I score here first post. But the finesse shot makes it possible to score from here. I put 2.5 to 3 bars of power with it, and it just flies into the back of the net. Very good finish. But if we look back at it again, a low driven shot here is not really possible, because the low driven will get blocked here. But as I said once again, the good thing with the finesse shot, it's less likely to get blocked after the patch, in my opinion. Very good shooting technique. Scores to make it 5-1 in this game with a very good touch and a very good good finesse. From me, make it 5-1 in weekend league as well. Great. And once again, this is going to be a similar situation where I'm using the finesse shot even with Claudia Pina because I feel more comfortable. It's just up to you in the end of the day. But as I said, if I shoot low driven here, I don't trust my aim with low drivens. I feel like my aim with low drivens is very, very bad. So as I said again, this is why I'm using the finesse shot here. Just trying to shoot it far post, kind of 2.5 to 3 bars of power. I don't know why, but it always flies in. The keeper is always glitching, going to ground. And once again, we scored to make it 4-0 in this game with the playstyle finesse shot. And that's how you score like a pro in FC 26. If you learned something new, drop a like and don't forget to subscribe, as I see that 70% of you guys are not subscribing, and we are also on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So that would mean a lot if you guys could press that button. As I said, thank you so much for the support recently, guys. You guys are the greatest. And yes, I'll catch you guys in the next video tomorrow. Thank you, boys, for today. Love you guys.